Today, we're going to be talking about how to use NotebookLM to make moolah. All right. So, we're going to get straight into this. And if you're not familiar with NotebookLM, basically what it can do is it can create a bunch of stuff. For example, it can generate media, it can generate videos, it can generate PDFs and that sort of thing. And it's a huge new opportunity because no one knows how to use it yet. And also, it is free to use, which is awesome for anyone watching this, and it is incredibly simple to use as well. And if you've never used this before, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. Plus, I'll talk you through some of the best ways to leverage it as well. All right, so we're going to get straight into this, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use this bad boy. So, as you can see right here, you've got the example, and this is actually a sales recipe, so we use it to train our team. But the cool thing about this is, like, you can actually use it for monetization, right? For selling services. So, for example, if you actually go on like Fiverr.com, let's have a look on Fiverr.com, right? And I know this because like I've sold over 2,000 gigs on Fiverr. I'd be scared with all these crazy pop-ups. And then, I've sold over 2,000 gigs on Fiverr.com itself. We reached a lot of people. We sold a lot of stuff, right? And one of the things that you see on Fiverr is that people are actually hiring designers for infographic designs, right? So if you go up here, you can see, for example, this is how much you can sell an infographic for. And if you have any questions as we go along here, feel free to ask as well. But you can see this is how much these infographics are being sold for, okay? So if you're using this, basically, you can create a gig on Fiverr.com and then you can sell, for example, infographics. Now, why is that important? Because if you actually load up a notebook, and let's say a client hired you to generate an infographic about anti-gravity, just as a random example. Well, generating an infographic on about Google anti-gravity is as simple as loading in a source from YouTube. Like you can see here, we've actually plugged in the YouTube video from my channel, right? And then from here, you can actually plug that into NotebookLM, and then from there you can actually generate an infographic, like you can see, right? So it's really simple and easy to generate these infographics, and then clients will pay for that. Clients will actually buy that as a service, right? Which is a really good opportunity for you or for anyone watching. And you can do the same on Upwork as well. So if we go into Upwork.com here, we'll go into Upwork. And if we go into Upwork.com, let's have a look here. We'll type in infographic designer just to see what's happening here. And then you can see like there's tons of infographic designers, and you can see, how much they're charging, how much they've earned, right? And so you can see, is it a good opportunity or not? And, from what I can see, for example, like presentation pitches here, for example, you've got Ashish who's charging this for doing freelance content design, etc. Like selling infographics or selling client side slide decks or whatever on Fiverr would actually be really simple and easy, right? And you see here it's generating an infographic. So if we go back over here and we'll go to, let's have a look here. I'm going to pull up an example sales recipe. Here we go. Right. So you can see here, for example, we've actually generated this infographic. And, per infographic, some clients would be willing to pay something like this, plus the fees, to do that, right? To hire someone like you to do this for them, right? And so you can just find gigs that you potentially could easily automate on NotebookLM and then use those and generate those using Fiverr.com, right? King says, I want to work with you. If you want to work with me, feel free to become an affiliate. So inside the AR Profit Boardroom, what we actually have is we have an affiliate option here, where if you become a member of the AR Profit Boardroom, you can actually edit my videos, clip them. Loads of members inside the AR Profit Boardroom are doing that, and then you can actually generate affiliate sales doing that, right? So you can just grab an affiliate link once you're a member of the AR Profit Boardroom, and then you can clip my videos and post them on YouTube. So if you want to do that, feel free, go ahead. Lots of people inside the AR Profit Boardroom doing that, but we're not looking to hire like any editors or anything like that. So if you go back to NotebookLM, You can see we've generated this beautiful infographic. It's actually better than what most people, would design normally. And how easy is that to generate, right? We can easily and quickly create those sort of things. If we go back to the notes here as well, it's quite easy to find other services that you can potentially sell. So, for example, here, if we type in presentations, you can see what people are charging for presentations. Like some people are charging above this, some people are charging below that, etc. That just gives us a feel for whether this is like a good, service to sell or not, right? And so, how can you automate creating slide decks? Well, you can actually do that inside NotebookLM, right? So once you've loaded the custom training, and let's say, for example, you can load in sources about whatever that person wants to create infographics around, and then you can easily generate those inside, for example, NotebookLM. So if you want to generate a slide deck, you can right here, right? And there's the slide deck. If you want to see an example of that, let me pull this one up. So this is a slide deck that we automated earlier using NotebookLM. And how easy is that, right? Beautifully designed, automated in like one click, and all you have to do is plug in the sources, right? And again, it's better than what most people would design normally, right? And we did it for free inside NotebookLM. And again, you could sell that as a service on something like Fiverr.com, get some clients, get some customers, etc., directly on there, right? And all you need to do is just do the keyword research here. The same, for example, for videos. We type in videos here. Let's say, for example, viral faceless YouTube here. You can see people are selling this as a service, and you can see like with so many reviews, these people are getting reviews and they are reaching a lot of people, which means that it's a potential Fiverr gig we could sell, right? And so how would we do that? Well, all we need to do is go inside NotebookLM, and then we can click on like video review, and then it's very, very simple to generate that video, right? So we've got the slide deck and video generated. If you want to see an example of something that we've actually created before, here's an example. It does come with voiceover as well, but I'm not going to play the voiceover just because I don't think this sound will be very good. But I'll play the video itself. So if we plug this up, and we'll click play on this, you can see, for example, we've got the video here. We can actually download that or share it. And this is a video with a slide deck, sound playing over the top. And it was really easy to create that, right? All we did was just automate it in one single click. And so, like I said, it could be videos, it could be slide decks, it could be infographics, etc. But whatever you want is very easy to really use NotebookLM to help you create these, right? And it doesn't take a long time at all. And so, whatever you want to automate, you actually can. And there's been a bunch of updates as well coming out all the time. So if you go back to NotebookLM here, if you're struggling for ideas, you can always go to Claude as well. Or in fact, we can even, this is a pretty cool thing you can do, right? So if we actually go into NotebookLM, and we can actually discover sources, right? So if we click on discover sources, we can actually train a NotebookLM for ideas for our business, right? So if you want to set up like an online business, for example, you can type in deep research here, and you can say, okay, here's what I want to learn about inside my notebook, as you can see, right? So we're going to plug that in here. That's going to go off on the internet, find a bunch of sources that we can use to then train our notebook to generate more ideas, right? So if you're not sure, okay, like what services could I sell online, or what can I automate with AI? What's some new creations that we could generate? You can actually use NotebookLM, train it up, and then get a bunch of cool ideas, like you can see. All right, so we'll just wait for that to load. We can do quick research as well. So if we click on a new tab here, we'll duplicate the tab, X off that, go on a new tab here, we'll click on create new, and then from here what we'll actually do is we will load in a source, but we'll just do the fast research, right? And so again, I'm going to type in, for example, this, because that's what I want to learn about inside my notebook, or I want to get ideas of, right? And we've got deep research running over here, and we've got fast research running over here. And again, this tool is free, right? So you might as well take advantage of it. If it's free, you have nothing to lose, right? And so you can see it's loaded 7 more sources, bunch of ideas right here. We can change the search. So we could say, okay, delete that. Right? Let's get a bunch of ideas like this. Difference between the fast search and the deep search is that deep search is going to take a lot longer, but it will find many more sources. So the accuracy and the quality of the notebook should be much higher, right? Whereas fast search, you'll get quicker answers, but the quality will probably be a little bit lower, right? And so you can see a bunch of curated sources right here. We can actually open those up and you can see all the sources it's taken from. So it's searched the web and it's found a bunch of different ideas from articles and blogs and that sort of thing. And also we have some examples of YouTube videos too, right? And so we're going to click on import like that. Now you can see that's beginning to import the sources into our notebook, right? How easy was that? And now what we can do is we can say, okay, give me a few ideas on this. All right, so we'll type that in. And now that's beginning to scan the text, come up with some ideas, find a bunch of ideas for us. And then you can see here that we can use the notebook to find ideas for our online business, right? And the same with the deep research once that's completed. So it's now developing implementation strategies, defining concrete actions, etc. And for example, let's have a look. We could create and sell educational digital products, right? And the reason for that is that Notebook excels at synthesizing complex information into study guides, summaries, and FAQs. So it'd be great for creating info products, right? And then you could actually sell those online, right? And that could be like printable planners, guides, or workbooks. And it's a really easy way to generate them. So how would that work step by step? Well, you just select a niche topic, then you're going to create source material, then you're going to generate educational assets. And then from here, you can just verify and refine and package and sell them, right? The other option is high-end research and content editing services. So instead of generating AI content, you could use NotebookLM's ability to create answers like this. You know, it could be like drafting articles and website content. And again, like if you go over to Fiverr.com and you're like, okay, well, you know, our client's looking for this, a client's interested in this, etc. We'll type in blogs over here. And if we type in blogs, you can see that there's a bunch of blog writing services that are doing really well, right? And so we could easily emulate that same service using NotebookLM, right? And what we could actually do, this is interesting as well, is we could say, okay, now write a Fiverr gig listing selling my services for blog writing, right? And we can actually use the notebook to not just come up with the ideas, but also to write the ads and everything else, right? Rizvan, shout out to you, you absolute legend, has said, that's great. As a digital marketer, I see a lot of potential using this tool. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like there's so much you can do with it, so much potential with this, right? So for example, here we've automated not just the idea, but we've also automated the gig title, the category, the search tags, right? It's actually written the sales copy for the Fiverr gig itself, right? With the table and everything else. And this is, I know that this would do pretty well. The reason that I know this is because, you know, I've had over 2,000 reviews on Fiverr.com itself, right? If you go back to Fiverr.com here, let me open this tab up. You can see that's how many reviews I've got on Fiverr.com and all these happy clients right here, right? If you actually go on to Upwork, same on Upwork, right? Here's my profile on Upwork. You can see our earnings right here, right? You can see how we've done, how many clients we've had, how many total jobs, and you know, how do we do that? We did it by finding jobs that we could sell on Upwork. Now, how can you find jobs that you can sell on Upwork? You just go onto this notebook, for example, like this one, and you can start generating these. By the way, if you want access to this for free, this notebook right here, but is basically like an idea generator for this sort of stuff. What I'm actually going to do is I will share this for free inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description. So if you go to the AI Success Lab, as you can see, then you're going to go to the classroom, and then inside the classroom, go to December 2025. And from here, we can add in this, as you can see, right? So I'm going to add in under the resources section, free tool for generating ideas plus Fiverr copy. All right. And you can do that. You can get free access to that inside the AI Success Lab. Link in the comments description. All right. If you want to get access to that. Amir says, wow, shout out to you, Amir. Thank you very much, sir. I'm glad that helps. I'm glad you're finding this useful. So that's awesome. And if we go back to that notebook as well, what we can also do here is we could say, okay, give me 5 ideas for 5 gigs I could sell with NotebookLM. And then what it's going to do from here is give us a bunch of ideas of stuff we could start selling using this process. All right, so it's brainstorming gig ideas, formulating 5 gigs, etc. Identifying skill gaps, right? And it will generate a bunch of ideas that we can use to start generating opportunities and new gigs that we could potentially sell online, right? Super easy and fast to do. And so, for example, it could be like the audio deep dive creator, right? And the gig title will be, I will turn your articles, reports, or PDFs into an engaging deep dive audio podcast, right? And if you want to automate that inside NotebookLM, literally all you do is just click on this button here, and that will actually automate a podcast so you could sell on Fiverr. And then you can just list this gig. Super easy, right? And again, like if you just want to, if a client comes to you and they're like, okay, I need an infographic about this or that, right? You just go to create new notebook. Then you're going to click on discover sources, fast research, and you just type in whatever the client wants their service about, right? So if the client comes to you, they're like, okay, I want an infographic on aliens. Okay, mate, let me just plug in aliens into NotebookLM, fast research, hit enter. And then from there, once that research is loaded and all the sources are loaded here, we can generate audio views or video views or reports or infographics, etc. Right? So we'll import those into the notebook, as you can see. And now we've added those sources for aliens, and we can just quickly create an infographic, right? And then you could easily sell that as a service, right? That's something that you could potentially sell as a service to customers. We've already validated that people are interested on Fiverr.com. And so how quick and easy is this to do? Right? That's what we're talking about. So Ahmad says, how to optimize Fiverr gig for high rankings on Fiverr? Great question. All right. So I want to break this down on these notes here. So how to optimize Fiverr gigs. All right. So number one, and you're basically doing, think of this as SEO, right? So number one, use keywords and find them via the auto suggest. All right, so this is what I used to do. So for example here, if we type in blogs, you can see a bunch of related words to blog writing, right? So for example, blog writing, blog, music blog, SEO blog writing. These are keywords that you can include inside your so you're going to find keywords. So find keywords via the auto suggest. Then add them to the tags, the description, the title, etc. Right? Then it's SEO optimized for whatever people type on Fiverr.com. Right? The other way that you can do this is you can also, if you get more reviews, so more reviews equals higher rankings. Right? So if you ever type in, for example, like blog on Fiverr.com, you can see all the gigs with the most reviews tend to show up the best, right? Top of that, fully optimized gig or fully complete gig, right? So description, video, full profile, etc. Those little things are going to help you rank higher. And then the other thing that I would say here is just trying to rank for like lower competition stuff, right? So for example, blog writing is going to be much harder to rank for because it's quite obvious, whereas music blog is going to be much easier to rank for, music blog will be much easier to rank for. And so, that gives you an idea of like, okay, if I go for easier keywords, will it be easier to rank? Well, of course, right? So you want to target low competition keywords. But those are like 4 ways that you can easily optimize your Fiverr gigs for better rankings on Fiverr. All right. So that's basically it. That's basically how I would recommend using NotebookLM to leverage this and, to get clients, to get more customers, to get more sales. I actually have a full NotebookLM system inside the AI Success Lab, completely free. Link in the comments description. You can get access to that. It also comes with a community of 40,100 people here. And this is all completely free. So you can jump in the community, meet loads of cool people. You can get all my latest trainings. If I'm going live, I actually post it inside there and just alert everyone, as you can see. And then also inside the classroom here, you can get access to all my video notes on all the coolest stuff that's happening with AI right now. So for example, if we go inside here, we've got training on like Gemini Flash, it just came out, NotebookLM, AI Super Gems, right? If we scroll down here, you can see that we've got training on like Open NotebookLM. We've got all the video notes from today as well inside here. So this is all inside the AI Success Lab, and it's completely free, and you can get it today, right? Link in the comments description. Additionally, if you want help, support, if you want to learn really how to like leverage AI to grow a business online, to start, getting more customers, getting more clients, maybe you're running a freelance business, or you want to just learn how to use NotebookLM to really automate your business and save time and everything else, feel free to join the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. This comes with an amazing community of awesome people winning with AI. You'll also get access to the classroom with all of my best trainings on this stuff. And also we have 4 weekly coaching calls. So if you're ever stuck, you can jump on the live calls, get help, get support, meet the community, etc. And that is all there for you inside the AI Profit Boardroom. It's available at aiprofitboardroom.com, or you can just click the link in the comments description. All right, appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.